begin with the defeat of the Constitution Amendment Bill seeking to tweak women's quota law in the Lok Sabha. And also coming is Iran declares the Strait of Hormuz completely open to commercial shipping. And Sri Lanka's Power and Energy Minister resigns amid new scrutiny. And more. So stay with us for the full report. The 131st Constitution Amendment Bill, which sought to implement reservation for women in legislatures from 2029 and increase the number of seats in the Lok Sabha, was defeated in the Lok Sabha. The bill failed to secure the required two-thirds majority, with 298 members voting in favor and 238 against. Here's a look at what went down in the Lok Sabha today. Ahead of the crucial voting session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi appealed to members of the House not to deprive Nari Shakti of new opportunities as he pushed for the passage of the bills. The opposition, however, mounted a strong attack. Congress leader Shashi Tharoor described the proposed 50% increase in Lok Sabha seats as a precarious political statement, warning that delimitation could turn into political demonetization.
What happens, sir, to cooperative federalism? You have proposed delimitation with such haste, the same haste that you showed on demonetization. And unfortunately, we all know what damage that did to the country. Delimitation, sir, will turn out to be political demonetization. Don't do it, sir.
DMK leader A. Raja accused the government of promoting discrimination among states in the name of women's rights.
Prime Minister says, Home Minister says, don't worry, nothing will happen. But on the other hand, Constitution is against you. The present bill is against you. It is very strange. Number one and number two of this country is completely misguiding the parliament with wrong data without any reason.
Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi alleged that the government was trying to rejig the political map, calling the move nothing short of an anti-national act.
I want to assure my friends, southern states, smaller states, northeastern states, that do not worry. We are not going to allow them. Because you're scared of what is happening in the politics of this country. You're scared of the erosion of your strength. You're trying to rejig the Indian political map. You are telling the South Indian states, you are telling the northeastern states, you are telling small states in India that in order for the BJP to remain in power, we are going to take away representation from you. This is nothing short of an anti-national act.
Replying to the debate, Home Minister Amit Shah defended the bills and rejected the concerns raised by the opposition. He said India currently has imbalanced representation with wide variations in the number of voters per MP across states and argued that delimitation is necessary to ensure equal value for every vote. He assured the House that the representation of southern states would not be reduced and proposed a 50% increase in Lok Sabha seats across states through an official amendment. The Union Minister has also urged the members to rise above politics and suggested a brief adjournment to build consensus before passing the bills.
कल मुझे थोड़ा भय लगा कि उत्तर बनाम दक्षिण का नैरेटिव एक रात के लिए भी दक्षिण के राज्यों में नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं फिर से स्पष्ट कर देता हूं, दक्षिण का राज्यों का इस सदन पर इतना ही अधिकार है जितना उत्तर के राज्यों का अधिकार है।
Expressing disappointment over the defeat of the bill, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju said this is a missed opportunity for consensus on an important reform. Subsequently, the union government decided not to proceed with two related bills, stating that they could not be viewed in isolation. And now to West Asia. In a significant development, Iran has announced the reopening of Strait of Hormuz. Here are the details.
A day after US President Donald Trump announced a 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iran said that the Strait of Hormuz is completely open for commercial vessels for the remainder of the ceasefire period. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made the announcement in a post on X, adding that while passage is open to all commercial traffic, vessels must follow a coordinated route set by Iran's maritime authorities. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump also confirmed the development on social media, saying the strait was fully open and ready for passage. "Thank you," Trump wrote on his Truth Social platform, adding that Iran had declared the narrow waterway fully open and ready for full passage. The announcement had an immediate impact on global markets, with oil prices falling sharply. The strait had remained largely closed during the US-Iran ceasefire, as the two countries disputed the terms of the agreement, with only a few commercial vessels transiting the waterway each day. The ceasefire is also closely linked to parallel diplomatic efforts between the United States and Iran. President Trump has said Washington is very close to a deal with Tehran, focused on preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons, including the possible handover of enriched uranium. He has also indicated that he may travel to Islamabad if the deal is signed. Notably, the last US president to visit Pakistan was George W. Bush in 2006.
Pakistan to seal the deal yourself? I would go to Pakistan, yeah. Pakistan has been great. They've been so good. Islamabad, I might go, yeah.
Up next, Sri Lanka's Power and Energy Minister Kumara Jayakody has resigned just days after surviving a no-trust vote in Parliament. The move comes after the government announced a high-powered presidential commission to probe alleged irregularities in coal imports by a state-owned entity. Jayakody becomes the first minister to step down under the National People's Party government, which came to power in late 2024 on an anti-corruption plank. To give us more on this, we with us have our Sri Lankan correspondent Meera Srinivasan.
It's a big news day in Sri Lanka with the resignation of Energy Minister Kumara Jayakody. The news came out just as President Anura Kumara Dissanayaka appointed a presidential commission to probe irregularities in coal procurement and imports to Sri Lanka. Last month, Mr. Jayakody was granted bail by the Colombo High Court based on two sureties after he was served an indictment in a case of corruption where he is accused of causing losses of over 8.8 million rupees to the government during his time at the Lanka Fertilizer Company around a decade ago. This indictment sparked fierce criticism from both political opposition and civil society, with many reminding the government of its chief poll pledge of eradicating corruption. Now, if you remember, in 2024, the NPP campaigned hard on a platform of wiping out corruption and forging a new political culture, and they won big precisely because of the hope that people placed on them to do that. So, understandably, there has been greater scrutiny on this government and greater opposition, including from the media, that over the last few weeks has been running critical commentary and editorials pointing to what it called the government's double standards when it came to tackling corruption by political rivals and one of its own.
Moving on, BJP MP Tejasvi Surya's remarks comparing the formation of Telangana to the partition of India have triggered a major political storm, with Congress MPs intensifying protests in Parliament and demanding that the comments be expunged. Leaders across parties, including the Congress and the BRS, have called for an apology, terming the remarks an attack on Telangana's self-respect. To get a clear picture of this issue, we have with us our Telangana political editor, Ravikant Reddy.
The reason I think the comments were illogical and also politically suicidal. Perhaps he wanted to impress his bosses in New Delhi. To undermine Congress, he might have used these two episodes and compared them. But he doesn't understand that Telangana is an emotion. The state's formation had a lot of sacrifices from the people, the common man, the political parties. In fact, parties like Congress went out of the way opposing their own prime minister, and the BJP also pitched in at the time. The BRS, of course, was born for this struggle, and Mr. Surya's comments were unnecessary. And what has it done to BJP in Telangana? BJP Telangana is definitely under a lot of pressure, and the way the Union Minister Mr. Kishan Reddy tried to assuage the feelings of people who are really enraged. He tried to compare the people who lost lives in Telangana with the people who lost lives during the freedom struggle, and trying to save Mr. Tejasvi. Did not go well with the people here. And as expected, the Congress as well as the BRS lapped it up. They targeted the BJP leadership and used all their ammunition to target both the union ministers, Mr. Kishan Reddy and Bandi Sanjay, who are also under tremendous pressure due to the delimitation exercise. Now, these comments has led to intense political debate in Telangana society, and political parties, particularly Congress and the BRS, will obviously take full advantage of it.
Let's now turn to the Hindu Roundup for some of our exclusive contents. In today's editorial titled Creeping Risk on Industrial Accidents and Neglect of Risks, it is argued that industrial accidents like boiler explosions are rarely sudden. They result from accumulated risks such as overpressure, poor maintenance, and unsafe restart conditions. Recent incidents in Visakhapatnam and Neyveli reveal gaps in India's safety framework, including weak inspection regimes, over-reliance on self-certification, and a lack of continuous monitoring. The editorial concludes that without systematic reforms in regulation, accountability, and workplace practices, such accidents will continue to be treated as routine costs of industrial growth. You can watch the full video on our YouTube channel, The Hindu Originals. In a column, The Institutionalized Sluggishness of the Legal System, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor argues that India's judiciary is crippled by deep delays, making justice inaccessible to ordinary citizens. Massive case backlogs, frequent adjournments, and procedural inefficiencies turn the legal process into a prolonged ordeal, stripping individuals of time, money, and dignity. For millions navigating the system, he writes, courts have become places where hope goes into languish, and justice delayed is justice denied is now a standard practice.
Observe that for the millions of Indians who spent years navigating the labyrinthine corridors of our legal system, the courthouse is very often the place where hope goes to languish. Our judiciary is the subject of my column this week, where I'm talking about the fact that the average citizen finds themselves trapped in a cycle of adjournments and procedural hurdles that can span generations. We've reached a point where the phrase justice delayed is justice denied has become a standard operating procedure.
We now turn to Madhya Pradesh, where the Supreme Court has issued a strong warning over illegal sand mining in a wildlife sanctuary. What triggered the court's intervention and why is this sanctuary significant? Let's take a closer look.
In a stern observation on April 17, the Supreme Court of India warned that it may order the deployment of paramilitary forces to curb rampant illegal sand mining in the Chambal sanctuary. The message was clear. If the Madhya Pradesh government fails to prosecute those responsible, stronger action will follow. The apex court also ordered to implement some key measures. GPS tracking of vehicles operating along known mining routes, a pilot project for CCTV surveillance at key locations with real-time access for district authorities and police, and a strict deterrent. Any violation will lead to immediate seizure of vehicles with release only through court permission. But what prompted such a strong response? The Chambal sanctuary is an ecologically sensitive zone and a key habitat for the critically endangered gharial, along with river dolphins, turtles, and otters, and several rare bird species. Earlier this week, the court flagged mining activity near bridge structures, raising concerns over possible damage to public infrastructure. It also took note of the killing of a forest god in Morena, allegedly linked to illegal mining, highlighting the risks on the ground. The court has even questioned whether the inaction reflects administrative failure or possible collusion. Following these observations, authorities in Madhya Pradesh have stepped up enforcement. Special armed forces have been deployed in Morena, surveillance has been increased, and fuel stations have been told not to supply unregistered vehicles. Police say efforts are underway to identify repeat offenders, with stricter action being considered. All eyes now turn to May 11 when the court reviews the case again.
And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts on today's episode in the comment section. If you found this video useful, don't forget to share it and save the Above the Fold playlist so you never miss an update.